Hello and welcome to this week's video from Pinnacle Executive Coaching. I'm your lead coach, Teresa Kuka, and I'm so excited to come to you this week. We are going to be talking about how you can dare to manage your team dynamics. So, my topic is, what weather are you creating as a leader? Let me ask that question again. What weather are you creating as a leader? You know, when you walk into a room as a leader, you can cause an atmosphere to shift. You can come in and bring such an energizing presence, a charisma around you. The room lights up. People get energy and are vibrant. Or you can be that kind of a leader who, when they walk into the office, people scatter. It's like there's a thunderstorm around. People go into their cocoons, hide. They don't want to talk. They are whispering because the atmosphere is too noisy. Or, it's a hailstorm. Are you that kind of a leader? Or do you have a little bit of sun and mostly cloud? It's very interesting how leaders can affect the atmosphere around them, and we are going to look at some of these aspects. So where are you today when you're thinking of yourself as a leader and looking at the situation where you're in? Are you constantly battling problems which are caused by personality clashes? Yes, every time there's like a war, there's some friction and all these kind of things. Is there a lack of trust? And all these things, when they combine, they actually form a toxic culture. Are you in that kind of situation? Are you always battling poor or ineffective communication? The other thing is, are you facing role confusion in your team, which is leading to inefficiencies? And those inefficiencies sabotage your success as a team, instead of you being a leader who can guide and help your people grow. Are you, as a leader, struggling with micromanaging? Are you always tempted to retain control, even with the most minor details? So you want to have a look of every single thing in your team or in your organization or in your business. Are your colleagues disengaged? Do they seem to have lost sight of the team's purpose? So if all these things resonate with you, maybe you can just post a comment to say what kind of challenge you're currently facing, or if it's something I've not listed, please mention it in the comments. The likelihood is that as a leader, you are facing challenges managing efficient team dynamics. And teamwork can be hard. Especially nowadays, we have both the physical working place, and some of us, due to COVID, have hybrid working places. And all those add to complexities we face as leaders. If your team is disengaged because of everything that we have talked about, then that is a real big challenge for you as a leader. And it can be difficult or a very big project for you to rebuild it into a positive culture, especially if there's some toxicity that has taken root. But it's doable. That's the good thing about leadership. We can learn, we can be able to come to a place where we can be able to shift our team dynamics. So, like I asked the question, how does the atmosphere shift when you walk into the room as a leader? The decisions we make as leaders are the ones that actually move out and cause us to be able to create that atmosphere, either a very cold atmosphere or a warm atmosphere, an energizing atmosphere, or a cold, frigid, disengaged atmosphere. Do you know that only 33% of leaders feel confident about making sound business decisions? This is research. Yet companies need leadership at all levels more than ever, and leaders have to effectively communicate and engage with their teams in order to be able to get success, as a leader. So what are you creating as a leader, and how can you be able to rise to that challenge? The challenge we have is most leaders, in my opinion and experience, is that we are not able to take into account the demand to relate with others in our team in a very authentic manner, in a courageous manner, and in a high integrity manner. And these are the elements that will enable the team build trust with you as a leader, and then they can be able to open up in turn, and then you can be able to have a cohesive work atmosphere. So what do leaders do? What I see in contrast is that many leaders make the decision to either block themselves. They can establish a sense of worth through withdrawal, through being distant, aloof, being hidden in their own caves, or being cynical. So this makes them, they want to appear superior. Then they alienate themselves from the team. Is that you, or have you faced leaders or worked under leaders who have shown up in this manner? So if that is you, it means you need to get guidance on how to overcome this challenge as a matter of priority in order to be able to move forward in a successful way. As leaders, the world is highly complex, and the bar for leaders keeps rising higher and higher. More is expected of us as leaders, and managing your team correctly will be the deal breaker for you. You want to be this kind of leader who gets people on your side, and your team is cheering you and they're saying, yes, we can do this. Yes, we can do this. You remember the Obama slogan and how he was able to rally people to be on his side, and people were able to do many things, volunteer and just go out of their way. But if as a leader you're not feeling supported by your team, if you're not feeling connected to them, if you're too controlling, or maybe you are just too lax, you just let anything go, you're not controlling them, then you'll come to a position where you cannot be able to achieve your targets, you cannot get anything moving, then you get into a failure zone, you lose your confidence as a leader, and you cannot be distinguished as a leader. So how well you can be able to manage your team is the way you need to learn how to get that right balance. And that's why we are saying present day trends with leadership are built around the ability of you as a leader to engage people and to be able to coach your team so that they can feel connected and they can be able to move with you to everything that you need to do. So when we are talking about teams and the team dynamics, what are we really saying? A team is a collection of people who have been brought together to achieve a common goal. When you enter into a work environment, let's say you've been employed or you've come into someone's business, you've been employed to work in a team, you have been brought together, each from different backgrounds, but now you're coming here to be able to achieve a common goal and accomplish the vision for this organization or business. There has to be a mutual understanding between you and your team members, and you have to know what you're aiming for when you're working together. And the more likely you know that and it's clear to you, the more likely you are able to manage it. Team members usually depend on each other for success. In contrast, a group is just a collection of people. You can see people gathered on the road, maybe watching an accident or something like that. They're just people who have come together because something has just happened. Maybe they're in the same geographic location at that time. Maybe it's an age group thing, or it's a gender thing. They're the ladies together or men together. But in a workplace, you have a combination of all these things. You have older people, you have young people, you have people who have come from different geographical spaces, and nowadays with hybrid working systems, we have online teams. People are based in other countries working together. You have employees who are really from far and wide, but they come together to achieve the vision and to help the team, the organization, to achieve its mission and goals. So it's not about just being someone who is sitting next to you in a desk next to you, but you have to be able to create a culture, a collaborative culture, so that people can sit together but with purpose, and they can be able to foster an exchange of ideas. They can be able to interact one another in a way that their individual personalities, behaviors merge to give off their very best, so that they can be able to blend into the nature of work that is demanded of them, and they can have positive relationships in the team. And this is what we want to achieve in order to be able to make sure that our team members have a working dynamic. They're able to interact with each other, even though they have different personalities and behaviors, but they can be able to grasp the nature of the work that they need to do and have good cohesive relationships going on. So, where do we want to be as leaders? Our goal, simply put, is to have a positive dynamic. We want our teams to have a positive dynamic which will get the best out of everyone. We want to have a situation and an atmosphere where things run smoothly, issues are solved collaboratively and positively, members have energy, they have enthusiasm, they have a sense of purpose, they are able to communicate effectively, and everyone is really on the same page. And this team is a team that consistently crushes its goals. Where would you feel and where would you be if your team was able to achieve all of this? So as a leader, it is your goal to be able to bring up that desire so that people can be able to see and visualize it and actualize it. I just have a slide here where I just want to show you, like, if you're in a team and this is what you are going through, you are able, irrespective of where people come from, irrespective of their ages, provided they have come together, you are able to say, together we can be able to achieve more. We are able to say, let's go for what our goals are, and we're able to get it. You want to be in this place where, as a team, you put together all your competencies. You're able to ride on each other's experiences, your professionalism, your advantages, your competencies come together, and as a team, you're able to find solutions which can bring about you can be able to be of service and meet your goals, especially for your clients or for the world, whatever space of impact you're seeking to be of service in this globe, you can be able to achieve. So please give a comment and let me know what resonates with you. Where would you want to be as a leader? How would you feel like this is where I would want to be with my team? And how would you get there? Strong team dynamics don't just happen by magic. Good leadership is the secret to making that happen. It doesn't just come automatically. And so if you're looking at where you want to be as a leader, then you want to be in a place where you are able to communicate and to communicate effectively. Leaders need to do more than just those surface level efforts. They need to get involved in talking about what are the hidden beliefs, what are the motivations, what are the preferences going on in the group, and also to walk the talk, lead by example. In as much as is practically possible, you have to be there leading. That's the only way you can be able to go to the top and show people, yes, you can come up to where I am. So leadership is about setting clear goals, communicate with the team leaders and members about their impact, both at the team level or organizational wide. You have to create a culture that welcomes risk-taking and also gives that psychological safety. In case people make mistakes, they know they can be able to learn from those mistakes and be able to grow. So it's your prerogative as a leader to be able to make sure that you're creating a culture that provides a positive climate, an atmosphere where people can thrive. So I'm going to give you a few strategies that you can be able to employ in order to improve your team dynamics even today. First thing, you have to be self-aware, and you also have to know your team. Awareness is really at the baseline of everything we do as leaders. So when you talk about knowing your team, as a leader, you need to be able to guide the development of your group, of your members. You have to foster connections vertically to you and then laterally to each other. Identify what culture you want to develop and then start building it step by step. You have to lead by example, which could mean maybe you have to come out of a shell, share some personal information about you, valuable lessons you have learned, instances where you failed before and then you succeeded. And then you can be able to create that safety place where people now can be able to come up and be able to say what they have been able to do, where they have not been able to do, and they can be honest. I think it's a crisis today when we have so many dishonest workers. And it's something that is becoming ingrained in our culture and psyche, but we have to break it and we have to look for ways to stop it really from progressing. And therefore you want as a leader to be able to reach out regularly, scheduled or randomly, to build trust, to invite people to learn from you, encourage them to talk with you. If you're working remotely, have them talk to you online, but with camera on. Remember always that you as a leader will determine the weather. So please work to create a positive climate at all times. So this is the first thing that you need to do. And then the second thing, of course, you have to foster team play and collaboration. You have to be a team that does not lack focus. If you lack focus or direction as a team, you can quickly develop very poor dynamics and people will struggle to understand their role in the group. What are they supposed to do? If it's football, now we are getting into the World Cup season, someone will wonder, am I the goalkeeper or am I the striker? Things like that. They have to know clearly, this is my position, this is where I'm standing, this is what I'm supposed to do. So create a team policy. Define what is your mission and objective. Make sure everyone's responsibilities are clear as soon as you form your team in any organization, and make sure everyone has a copy of it. Remind people regularly and then hold them accountable. You have to always monitor interpersonal intelligence and then tackle up any issues that come up rapidly so that they are addressed on time and you can be able to move to the next level. If you sweep things under the carpet, they will fester and then you'll have a big problem and you don't want to go there. So work to tackle issues that come up very rapidly. The other thing is that you have to mentor and develop your team. You have to always pay attention and find out how can you develop your team to be better than when you found them. You have to encourage trainings. You have to really dig into coaching. You have to be there for them so that you can be able to inspire them. Leading is actually seeing a risk and then going ahead to get the courage to take it in a calculated way and being able to move. You have to be able to dare, and only when you are able to dare and reach the top can you be able to mentor and develop your team to tell them, hey, I was also down there, please come here and join me where I am. So you have to find out how could you be able to do that so that people can be able to move. So in summary, I would say is that we need to be checking ourselves so that we can be able to create that positive climate. Like I said, foster collaboration. When you're fostering collaboration, also define and give clarity on your structure, on how roles are distributed in a team so everyone knows their place and what they need to do, and you hold them accountable to them. You also have to define and explain what are the meaning for their roles so that when someone comes, if they are sitting at the reception, they don't just think that their job is just to smile and receive a document, they can do so many other things, but they have to know that they are the face of the organization. When someone walks in, they will not see the back office. This is the face of the organization. And what does this organization stand for? So you have to give everyone that meaning so that they can be able to visualize how they are part of the bigger chain. There's a very good incident that had a very good outcome recently. I heard in the news a group of tourists came to an airport, and they dropped a sack with a lot of money, like $20,000. But it was picked by a staff on ground, and they were able to call the person. And when the person went, they were in total disbelief how honest people still exist like this in an organization. The tourist went ahead and said they are going to market that airport. They are going to talk about the country in general. So the staff, when they picked this bag, they did not just think of themselves and say, let me steal or let me do something that is not wrong, or even with the other people, can we share this money or what? They thought, yeah, what would be the impact to this client of ours? And now they have such a good high rating and someone who is going to be broadcasting them every single day. They didn't consider themselves insignificant because they were not the CEO. So you have to be able to talk to your team so that everyone can be able to realize how valuable they are in an organization and how their individual roles build up to the final common goal of the organization. And that's the only way you can be able to achieve impact. That's the only way you can be able to achieve impact, when everyone can map the purpose of the organization to their particular role, and all of you move in one sync, having a common ground. So I hope that's something very useful that you can be able to learn from and you can be able to start applying. Please give me a comment. Let me know how this resonates with you and what you think about it. Finally, you have to learn. This is just a tip of the iceberg. How are you able to build really effective team dynamics? And I have one of my modules in my Dare to Lead circle, where now I really go in depth to help you to master the science, as it were, of managing effectively team dynamics. So in I have a module which I call the Versatile Leadership Toolkit for all seasons. This is where we actually dare you to discover what options you have. We teach you how you can be able to develop, maintain synergistic professional relationships that will foster teamwork, cooperation, what is the art of finding common grounds that will always yield a win-win outcome all the time. We really go in depth. We find out who you are, what your gaps are as a leader. Are you that controlling leader who tramples on your team? It's you do it my way, I don't care. And then when you enter into the room, everyone is fearful, timid, because there is no other way to breathe when you're there. Or are you a complier? This person who is always just, I don't want to rock the boat. You people just do what you want. Yes, you can do it, you can do that. But do you achieve your goals when you behave like that? Or are you that protective person who always goes into a shell? You're very distant, you're aloof, there's just an air of mystery around you, and yet you're the leader. And how does that affect your leadership? So if anything I've said resonates with you, please comment. I'm ready below, and we'll have a quick chat. I'll be able to connect with you to see and give you an outline of my program. I'll send you the complete training that breaks down the entire deep dive Dare to Lead circle blueprint, and then you can see how you can be able to apply it to your leadership. And we'll have a free chat to just see if this program is a good fit for you or not. I know very well the kind of people that this program will do well for them, so I'll tell you straight away whether it's a good fit for you or it's not yours. Maybe your issue is something else. And if you are, then we can get started straight away. So please comment below, I'm ready, and then we get going. So we have talked about many things. I've talked to you how you can manage your team dynamics, and I've also given you an insight on how you can be able to create weather and influence the weather, the atmosphere in your organization as a leader. So don't hesitate. Don't say you'll just do more training, you'll now start talking to your team, you'll continue doing the same thing you've been doing, increasing your timelines, micromanaging your team, or talking to them in a way that is not effective. Connect today. I'm looking forward to your call and or comment that you're ready below, and I will be able to engage with you. Thank you so much for listening, and see you soon. Bye.